My name is Marilyn Balcom, and I'm the President and CEO of the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to welcome you to our 25th Annual Public Safety Awards ceremony. We would normally be serving you a hot pancake breakfast along with some great networking and a strong cup of coffee. Although we can't meet in person, we didn't want to miss the opportunity to recognize the extraordinary accomplishments of our first responders. We're here today to honor the men and women from law enforcement and fire and rescue for their brave deeds and community service. The dedication and service of each of these individuals strengthens the quality of life in our community, and we're honored to express our gratitude today and every day. Presenting the awards today are Gaithersburg Police Lieutenant Sean Eastman, Gaithersburg Police Lieutenant Chris Vance, Montgomery County Sheriff Chief Deputy Max Yu, Montgomery County Police 5th District Commander Mark Plazinski, Montgomery County Police 6th District Commander Paul LaCoury, Germantown Volunteer Fire Chief Joe Chornock, and the Gaithersburg-Washington Grove Volunteer Fire Deputy Chief Gary Walker. We also have comments today by Montgomery County Police Chief Marcus Jones, Montgomery County Fire and Rescue Chief Scott Goldstein, and Montgomery County Sheriff Darren Popkin. Before we present our awards, I'd like to recognize and thank the elected officials who sent messages to the awardees. You will see them throughout the program. We have with us today Congressman David Trone, State Senator Brian Feldman from District 15, State Senator Cheryl Kagan from District 17, State Senator Nancy King from District 39. We also have Montgomery County Council President Sidney Katz and Montgomery County Council Member Craig Rice, and of course, our City of Gaithersburg Mayor Judd Ashman. We're fortunate to have a great business community in Montgomery County. In addition to the ongoing support provided by our annual corporate sponsors, the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber of Commerce would like to thank the following businesses for their generosity and support of today's recipients. Our title sponsor for the 13th year in a row is Paul Davis Restoration and Remodeling. A huge thank you to Montgomery Community Media, our media sponsor, for making this amazing production possible. They are a great community partner. Our shining silver sponsor is Hughes Network Systems. Our Public Safety Award sponsors are the City of Gaithersburg, the Gaithersburg Police Foundation, Holy Cross Health, Hughes Network Systems, Infinite Bridge, Inc., Johns Hopkins University, Montgomery County Campus, Montgomery College, the Germantown Campus, Rehab to Perform, Rogers Consulting, Inc., and Therian Waddell, Inc. I also want to thank all the public safety official sponsors who will be listed in your program. I hope you'll listen to the stories that we present here today. They are stories of bravery, service, and community. So please grab your coffee, sit back, and enjoy the program. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Brock Merwin with Paul Davis Restoration. Wow, 2020 has been an interesting year to say the least. We appreciate the opportunity to continue to take part in this event. We are the second responders to situations that you respond to first. In most cases, it's a house fire or a flying object. Maybe it's a tree or car into a structure. We also restore schools, churches, and businesses after floods and fires. Every day nearly, we get to witness your team serve our communities firsthand. The men and women in public safety make it easy and safe for us to follow.
Hello, I'm Lynette Hobson, CEO of Montgomery Community Media, your nonprofit access media organization. MCM is a proud supporter of the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber's Public Safety Awards. Our congratulations to those being honored as the best of the best in public safety in our county. We thank you, and we hope that everyone will continue to be well and stay safe.
Hi, I'm Congressman David Trone. I'd like to start by thanking this year's honorees of the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber of Commerce Public Safety Awards. Our first responders are among the best in the nation, and I'm proud to call Montgomery County home, where we're protected and served by true heroes. Law enforcement officers, firefighters, and emergency medical professionals and volunteers always answer the calls for help fearlessly and without hesitation. During such a challenging time for our nation, I am honored to share my message and thanks with you. Over pancakes and coffee last year at the fairgrounds, I was in awe of the honorees and their acts of selflessness. The stories of community service and true heroism in the line of duty has stuck with me, and I look forward to learning more about this year's awardees. It's my privilege to represent Gaithersburg and Germantown in Congress, and it's my honor to know that our community is protected by Montgomery County's bravest and finest. Thank you, and be safe.
Hi, I'm Judd Ashman, mayor of the greatest city in the world, Gaithersburg, Maryland. On behalf of our city council and our staff, once again, it's a great privilege for us to join the chamber and business community in honoring the good work of those who protect us. Now, every year, it seems I come to the podium at this event and point out how this is not an easy time to be a police officer. And every year I think to myself and hope, maybe this time will be the last time I feel moved to say that. Well, not so much this year. It has been a rough one, mostly due to forces outside of our control. So I want to take a moment and say a few things to our police officers. 1, we support you. 2, you and your families are part of this community and we're proud of it. 3, we're grateful for the good work you do every day, for your professionalism, courtesy, and restraint. And 4, we offer the fondest of congratulations to all of our award winners, as well as those who support and inspire them in their exemplary work for our community. To our police, fire, and rescue, may your good work and professionalism set the bar and be the inspiration for communities everywhere, and in that way, make the world a better place. Thank you for all you do.
I'm Sidney Katz, president of the Montgomery County Council. I wish we all could attend together in person, but the message is the same, whether we're here in the same room or virtual. On behalf of the County Council, we congratulate all the awardees, and I'm here to say 2 very important words to each and every one of our first responders. Thank you. You can never hear it enough, and we can never say it enough. As we all know, we're going through some of the most horrific times in the history of our nation and our county. Your heroic actions, knowing that you were there when people are in need to save a life and to calm a situation, is most comforting and sincerely, sincerely appreciated. Thank you for caring about your community and for keeping us safe. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Councilmember Craig Rice, and I want to congratulate all the awardees for the Germantown-Gaithersburg Chamber of Commerce Public Safety Awards. The reality is that even in the midst of COVID, men and women in our community are putting their lives at stake each and every day to protect and serve our community. And for that, we should all say thank you. You are the true heroes. You are the ones who continue each and every day to value the lives of others over your own. That is a tremendous calling and something in which we all should show our gratitude and appreciation for. And so I say thank you on behalf of the 1.1 million residents here in Montgomery County, and especially in my district. Thank you so much for what you do each and every day. We really, truly value everything that you do. Take care, stay safe, and God bless.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Kagan, very proud to be the senator for Gaithersburg and Rockville and the chair of the statewide Next Generation 911 Commission. Through my work on 911, I work very closely with police and public safety personnel, and we all know it's a hard time to be a police officer or a public safety employee. So thank you in the middle of the pandemic and Black Lives Matter. Thank you for your courage, your dedication to community. And thanks to the Gaithersburg Chamber and its leadership and members and its staff, because this event is always so uplifting. In addition to Chief Stroka and Chief Jones, we get to celebrate the less visible acts of courage and service that happen throughout the year. So congratulations to the winner. I'm so sorry we're not together in person, but hopefully we'll be all back together again next year. Thanks for what you do. Stay safe.
This is State Senator Brian Feldman, and I truly appreciate the opportunity to personally recognize and congratulate the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber of Commerce's Public Safety and First Responder Award recipients this year. Each of you has exemplified extraordinary heroic and exceptional performance in your duties. Congratulations and thank you for protecting our homes, businesses, schools, and families each and every day.
Hello, I'm Senator Nancy King. I'm sorry to not be able to congratulate all the award winners today in person. This is one of the events in the summer that I always enjoy attending, but I do think it's important for us to at least be able to do it even virtually to make sure that you know how much you are appreciated by our whole community and for what you put your life on the line for, just for us. I think it's a lot for you to do, and I think in times like this, you need to be reminded over and over again how much you are appreciated for what you do for us.
Hello, I am Chief Marcus Jones, Montgomery County Police. Today is a great day to be able to honor those who have done a phenomenal amount of police work in our community and who is being recognized by the Gaithersburg Chamber of Commerce. This is a great day in many different ways. It's a difficult time we've had during the COVID crisis and during the George Floyd era, where police departments all across this country are under great scrutiny. But your work that you have done that allows for the community and others to see the tremendous work that you have done in order to save lives and to help people during the most difficult crisis. So for that, I want to say thank you. You are very much appreciated. We thank you for what you've done. I know the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber of Commerce is very grateful for the work that you have done. So I wish you the best. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep up the great work.
Welcome, everybody. Scott Goldstein, Fire Chief, Montgomery County Fire Rescue. Wanted to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for what you do every day. To say congratulations to each and every one of you for these honors and awards that the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber of Commerce is providing to you. We call this our job. We call this our vocation and our passion. We call what we do the normal course of our business and what we come to work, what we come to our volunteer standby every day to help the community, help the visitors and residents to Montgomery County. We're very humble in the performance of our duties and humble today to receive these awards. But the people's lives that we made a difference to, the special circumstances that these cases provide are truly that. Emergencies to the people that were involved, and you were there to make a difference. You were there to make a change and make an impact. So congratulations to each and every one of you. Congratulations to your families as well, because a part of these award ceremonies is having our family members present. And while this virtual circumstance makes it a little different, the opportunity for your family to see you receive an award and the opportunity for the family to see the community, the chamber, as well as the leaders within the community provide recognition of what you do is critically important. And to each of the family members, thank you for letting your loved one be a public safety professional. To the members of the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber of Commerce, thank you for your support. Thank you for the continued operations and the support throughout the year and helping your police, fire rescue, and emergency services personnel. So from the fire rescue, thank you very much and stay safe.
Thank you, Chief Jones and Chief Goldstein. And now on to our awards program. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tom Lonergan, Assistant City Manager for the City of Gaithersburg. City of Gaithersburg is a proud sponsor of the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber's Public Safety Awards program. The Gaithersburg Police Department safeguards the lives of those within the city. We are delighted to present the Meritorious Service Citation to an officer in the city's police department. This citation is being rendered to this officer for his successful accomplishments of the department's mission.
Greetings. My name is Lieutenant Sean Eastman of the Gaithersburg Police Department, and I am proud to present Officer Dan Lane with the Meritorious Service Citation. The first core value from the City of Gaithersburg Police Department's mission statement is service. Service is defined by a high level of consistent actions over time that demonstrates the ability and desire to do whatever is needed to assure our community is a safe and secure place to live. For providing quality service and protection to all people in an efficient and competent manner, tempered with courtesy, compassion, and understanding, we are recognizing Community Services Officer Dan Lane. He has given tirelessly of himself to make our community and agency better. In 2019, Officer Lane led the initiative to establish the department's first ever police cadet program. This was a massive undertaking. Imagine creating a selection process, uniforms, lesson plans, training objectives, and other logistical issues essentially from scratch. Officer Lane recognizes the value in being able to recruit young adults, mentor and prepare them for a career in law enforcement. The mentoring does not stop there, as Officer Lane has a history of work in this arena. Officer Lane has excelled in providing youth services to help mentor and provide positive outlets to our youth. One such way is through the DARE program. He also serves as an advisor for the Montgomery County Police Explorers program. This is yet another role where Officer Lane serves as a mentor, coach, and role model for teens who represent all demographics in our community. He also attends and hosts many youth-related initiatives. His efforts resulting in helping to keep our youth engaged, informed, and away from trouble. Officer Lane understands, as the community services officer, his primary duty is to act as a liaison between the community and the police department. He has fostered valuable relationships with community leaders, businesses, and other stakeholders. He addresses and responds to community complaints at all hours and conducts his follow-up to ensure that they're being properly addressed. He changes the schedule to work patrol whenever staffing shortages require it. During the current COVID-19 outbreak, for example, he has worked at food distribution sites throughout the city to help give back and take the burden off patrol. Additionally, he continues to lead and facilitate many departmental outreach efforts. He has built positive relationships and has served as a valuable resource for patrol officers. For his commitment and dedication, I am proud to announce that Officer Dan Lane is awarded the Meritorious Service Citation.
I'm Chris O'Brien, Chair of the Gaithersburg Police Foundation. The foundation strives to be a valuable adjunct to the City of Gaithersburg Police Department's core missions of public safety and community outreach. We are happy to continue our ongoing support of the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber's Public Safety Awards program. The Citation for Bravery is presented to a member of a public safety organization who performed an act of bravery which was beyond the call of duty.
Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Chris Vance of the Gaithersburg Police Department, and I'm the Operations Bureau Commander. Many have described what it's like to be a police officer. Hours of shift work consumed by mostly routine activities broken up by unexpected moments of adrenaline-filled chaos. In those unexpected moments, officers don't have time to think or actively process what they're going to do next. They act immediately based on their instincts, and their instincts are guided by their character, commitment to service, and their bravery. In the summer of 2019, during a routine foot patrol, Officer Mary Liddy did not know that she was moments away from risking her own life to save the lives of two people. A little after 2 a.m. at the Washingtonian Rio Center, she heard what sounded like gurgling and splashing from the lake. At that time, she saw two females in the water struggling to stay afloat. Officer Liddy called for backup, called for fire rescue, and sprang into action. Without hesitation, she jumped into the water, swam to the women, and pulled them safely to the shore. An investigation revealed that the mother was distraught and attempted to kill her daughter, who suffers from cerebral palsy, by pushing her off the bridge. She then attempted to commit suicide by jumping off the bridge as well. Both women were unable to swim. Without the immediate actions of Officer Liddy, the outcome of this incident would have resulted in their demise. For instantly taking action, going above and beyond the call of duty, and performing an extraordinary and heroic life-saving action, Officer Mary Liddy is awarded the Citation of Bravery. Congratulations.
Good morning. I'm Barbara Cruz from Johns Hopkins University. It is our pleasure to celebrate the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber of Commerce and the honorees at this year's 25th anniversary of the Public Safety Awards Breakfast. Our next awardee has seen many changes during his years as a firefighter, from new trucks, helmets, and tools to the many advances in technology. Johns Hopkins University is pleased to honor Robert Harding, known as Cuz to his friends and colleagues, for his decades of service to the Gaithersburg-Washington Grove Fire Department. Congratulations and thank you, sir.
Good morning. My name is Gary Walker, and I serve as the Deputy Chief of the Gaithersburg-Washington Grove Volunteer Fire Department. Today, I wish to honor one of our members, Robert Harding, known around the station as Cuz. Cuz grew up in Gaithersburg. At the age of 20, he joined the Gaithersburg-Washington Grove Volunteer Fire Department, and for 60 years has been serving this department and our community. I would be remiss if I didn't say that Cuz has made a major impact on the department. He served as corporate secretary for 53 years, and to this day is the bylaws chairman. As chairman, he is tasked with keeping the bylaws updated, making recommendations to the board for updates, as well as ensuring that the department is conducting business accordingly. He is also a big help in keeping the department organized by managing most of our record keeping. When the department's former fire station was renovated, Cuz assisted in its redesign, including the Fire Museum. The Fire Museum preserves the department's history dating back to 1888. He remains a historian for the department. For years, Cuz has served as the Fireman's Fund Administrator and chairs the annual Community Fund Drive, which supports our overall volunteer budget and provides the ability to purchase apparatus, supports our museum operations, including the restoration of 2 antique fire trucks. It also provides much of the funding needed to support our communities. For example, our neighborhood Santa runs in December, and the Fire Safety House, which provides safety education for the children in the area. While volunteering, Cuz also served as our community as the county fire dispatcher, obtaining the rank of shift sergeant before retiring after 30 years. It is with great pleasure that I submit the name of Robert Harding for the award of Distinguished Service Citation for his dedication and community service as a member of our department for 60 years.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brittany Hilton. We are proud of the many ways that Hughes supports public safety and public health around the world, and here in Montgomery County. Today I'm here to introduce Officer Barger, who will receive the Service Award for her outstanding investigative work. Thank you for your valuable contributions and congratulations.
Officer Marcel Barger investigated an intricate larceny case involving numerous victims stretching across multiple districts. Through tenacious investigative skills, Officer Barger was able to identify several victims of package thefts from numerous apartment complexes within Gaithersburg, totaling a combined value of assets nearing $10,000. Further, Officer Barger exhaustively researched earlier reported incidents involving similar thefts, reviewed video surveillance, and interviewed both victims and witnesses in an effort to identify the suspect. As a result of her diligent police work, Officer Barger was able to discover the suspect's identity, along with locating his residence and commonly used vehicle. Officer Barger's investigation discovered additional thefts in Bethesda involving her suspect and continued her investigation concurrently with the Bethesda Patrol Investigative Unit. Through the drafting and service of several search warrants served in both the state of Virginia and in Howard County, numerous items of evidentiary value were recovered, and felony theft charges were placed against the suspect. The efforts put forth by Officer Barger investigating this ongoing case exhibit the dedication and ambition she exhibits on a daily basis. Through Officer Barger's own volition and ambitious investigative follow-up, She was able to close several complicated larceny cases spanning multiple districts. Officer Barger's efforts allowed the victims to obtain a sense of closure from their property loss, as well as a renewed faith in the pursuit of justice. Further, Officer Barger's investigative follow-up, communication, and organizational skills displayed throughout the investigation rivaled that of a veteran seasoned detective. Officer Barger's dedication and tenacity in the above investigation resulted in the recovery of numerous items of stolen merchandise being recovered, as well as the identification and subsequent prosecution of the individual responsible for completing the thefts. For her investigative efforts, she is commended with the Meritorious Service Citation. Congratulations.
Hi, my name is Tina Kennedy. I'm the Director of the Emergency Department and Behavioral Health Unit at Holy Cross Germantown Hospital. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing the highest award level to two of Montgomery County's finest police officers. The Medal of Valor is bestowed upon any member of a public safety organization and awarded only in exceptional instances involving extremely hazardous circumstances in which a member risked his or her life in the performance of duty. The act performed shall be of an extraordinary nature, beyond the call of duty, which exposed the member's life to extreme danger or resulted in the member's death. At Holy Cross Hospital, we offer a full range of inpatient and outpatient services, along with specialized expertise services, and we can definitely relate to hazardous circumstances and taking risks on the job front. Thank you to our public safety and healthcare heroes who every day risk their lives to protect our citizens and communities.
In October, officers Vince Romano and Christopher Mumper responded to a home in Montgomery Village after receiving a report of a shooting. They were ordered to advance by themselves to the rear of the residence. They used a staircase to ascend a steep hill. It left them very vulnerable since it did not provide any sort of cover. Once they reached the top, they had to reassess their plan because there was no rear entrance. Proceeding to the front entry, the officers heard screaming inside the home, and an adult and two children fled the scene. An investigation determined they were not involved in the shooting. Officer Mumper, Officer Romano, and additional units entered the home and found two victims with injuries and provided first aid. One subject did not survive the event, and the other was seriously injured. Officer Romano and Officer Mumper knew before ascending the staircase that they had started receiving gunfire that there would be no cover. They moved toward the residence to an open area, knowing it exposed them to hostile subjects. They ensured that the family members exiting the residence were safe and stood between them and that of the contained threat. They provided solicited information to other units and medical services. These two officers were ordered to risk their personal safety and well-being in order to stop the threat to the community. They did so quickly, professionally, and without hesitation, and without additional loss of life or injury. Officer Romano and Officer Mumper exemplify the highest form of heroism and sacrifice. Today, they are awarded the Medal of Valor. Congratulations.
Getting the family out safely without any further loss of life or injury. Ms. Romano, thank you. Ms. Mumper, thank you.
Hi, I'm Adam Cox with Hughes Network Systems. We stand united with our public safety officials, and we thank them for creating safer and stronger communities. Today, I have the honor of introducing the Distinguished Service Citation Award for an officer from the 5th District, Germantown Station. This award is presented to an officer who has performed services beyond the ordinary call of duty. It recognizes incidents wherein diligence, perseverance, and timely judgment was used in a situation which prevented a major crime or led to the apprehension of an armed and dangerous criminal. With that, I would like to congratulate Officer Murphy. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Commander Mark Plazinski of the 5th District. Back in April, Officer Mike Murphy responded to a domestic violence call. This is a call we run every day. But the steps he took made it a very successful outcome. Upon arrival, the victim stated that her ex-boyfriend, who she had a protective order against, had just been trying to get into the into the home. Officer Murphy and members of the CBD team began to search for the suspect. And when they found him, he was in a vehicle. That vehicle had a strong odor of marijuana about it. The suspect tried to, talk his way out of the contact with the police, but Officer Murphy pushed the investigation, was able to obtain a search of the vehicle and admissions from the suspect that there was marijuana in the car. Once Officer Murphy searched the vehicle, not only did he find a large amount of marijuana and paraphernalia indicative of distribution of drugs, he found firearms, ammunition, and other things that were concerning for him as a police officer. He also found 2 cell phones, which would be very important as this case made its way through adjudication. Once back at the station and the investigation search warrants were done on the cell phone, it was determined that this suspect was not only involved in this domestic violence call, but in 2 separate shootings and a homicide. Officer Murphy worked with the detectives, and every step along the way, he did everything that he should have done in a basic investigation, and he set the stage for a very dangerous felon to be taken off the street, and 2 shootings and a homicide closed out in addition to the drug arrest. He is very deserving of this Distinguished Service Citation.
Good morning. My name is Cliff Peterson from Infinite Bridge. As a father of 6, 3 of whom are on the front lines of public service, I just want to say thank you. I'm fully vested in understanding all that you do for our community and is very much appreciated. This morning in particular, Infinite Bridge wanted to say thank you to Detective Joshua Locke. He is receiving the Distinguished Service Commendation, recognizing diligence, perseverance, and timely judgment in the performance of a difficult task, resulting in the protection of life and property, the prevention of a major crime, or the apprehension of an armed and dangerous criminal. Thank you for all that you do for your community.
Hi, I'm Commander Mark Plazinski. I'd like to talk about a case that occurred this June. Officers responded for an alleged robbery behind the Mission Barbecue on Century Boulevard. The alleged victim in this case, Michael Cooper, stated that he had been beat up and attacked by a gentleman, but he didn't wish to cooperate with the patrol officers or investigators that evening. The following day, detectives talked to Mr. Cooper, and they were able to elicit more details about the alleged incident. What it turned out, what the investigator, Detective Locke, was able to find out is that Mr. Cooper really wasn't the victim of a robbery. What he was a predator who had been targeting members of the LGBTQ community and using a scam to get young bisexual women involved into a sextortion case. Mr. Cooper would pose as a female on various online social media sites. He would engage these young women in conversation, build their trust, and then try to get nude photos of these young women. Once he had the photographs, he would threaten to disclose the photographs to their family members or to pornographic sites unless they would engage him in sexual activity. Detective Locke, obviously this is a very sensitive case for these young women. Detective Locke was able to gain the trust of one of the victims, put together a case, and bring successful charges against Mr. Cooper. During the course of his investigation, he was also able to identify an additional 5 more victims who had been targeted by Mr. Cooper. There was a story done about this case in the Washington Post, and Detective Locke has even received more victims from that. I think that this case could have easily been ignored when the victim didn't want to cooperate on the evening of the alleged robbery, or once Detective Locke got involved and determined that there wasn't a robbery. But he was passionate about protecting members of the community. He did great service to those people that were victimized by Mr. Cooper. And his work has identified a serial predator, and hopefully he'll be held to account for his crimes. So a great job by Detective Locke, and he is deserving of this Distinguished Service Citation.
Good morning. My name is Gary Unterberg. I'm honored to introduce the Germantown Central Business District team for going beyond the call of duty. We present to them the Citation of Bravery. At Rogers Consulting, we appreciate the service you provide. You and your service, again, is greatly appreciated. Thank you and stay safe.
Hi, I'm Commander Mark Plazinski again, and I want to talk to you about a case that occurred on June 28th of this year. Officers from the Germantown Central Business District team were conducting pedestrian safety enforcement in the area of the Sugarloaf Shopping Center. While they were doing this detail, they observed that there was a vehicle on fire at the gasoline pumps of a nearby gas station. The officers immediately leapt into action, and it's important to realize that these police officers don't have all the equipment that fire rescue does when they go into a situation like this. They're just wearing bike polo shorts, shirt, and bicycle shorts. But that didn't stop them. They knew that they couldn't wait for fire rescue, so they immediately went to address the issue. Officer Barry evacuated customers from the gas station to keep them away from the danger. Officer Steffen utilized a fire extinguisher on the growing flames that were engulfing the engine compartment, and Officer Riley was able to obtain the ignition key to the vehicle. He got inside the burning vehicle and put the car into neutral. The officers then were able to physically push the vehicle away from patrons and the flammable hazard of the gas pumps into an unoccupied area of the parking lot. They continued to work as a unit until they were able to put out the fire. If it were not for the quick thinking and decisive actions of these three officers, certainly the fire could have created a much more damage and possibly injury to one of the community members at the gas station. They embodied the oath that they took to put public safety above their own, and these officers are deserving of the Citation of Bravery for their actions on that day.
Good morning. My name is Matt Maynard and I work for Therian Waddell Construction located in beautiful Gaithersburg, Maryland. The public is fortunate that our public safety officials are focused on their commitment to protecting and serving our communities. On behalf of Therian Waddell Construction, we respect you and appreciate your service. We would like to especially thank firefighter Raymond Shaky Hartzell for his service to the fire department for the past 48 years. Keep up the great work.
Raymond Shaky Hartzell joined the Montgomery County Fire Service in October of 1972 with the Gaithersburg-Washington Volunteer Fire Department. Firefighter Hartzell joined the Germantown Volunteer Fire Department when we were chartered in 1989, and for over the next 10 years, he was our primary engine driver and the driver trainer for all of our new drivers. Even though Shaky is not able to participate as a firefighter any longer, he is still an active volunteer with the department. He has served the department as president, vice president, a member at large on the board of directors, and he has served the department's delegate to the Montgomery County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association and to the Montgomery County Fire Board. For the last 2 years, Life Member Hartzell has been my right-hand man. He has taken on the role of the apparatus and facilities manager. He makes sure that every piece of apparatus that we own is properly maintained, and if it needs service, he will drive it to the facility to get it fixed. For these and many more reasons, Raymond Shaky Hartzell is awarded the Meritorious
Service Citation.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Josh Funk with Rehab to Perform. I'm the physical therapist there and also the owner of the company, but I just want to take time to really acknowledge everything that firefighters do. They really do a lot. They run an amazing amount of medical calls from lift assist to major emergencies, in addition to fighting fires. In fact, around 70% of the firefighters in the US are volunteers. Yes, that means over half of the firefighters that respond to emergency calls don't earn a single penny. That's really what makes this next award so special and why I am so excited for our company to be a part of presenting this amazing award. So from the Rehab to Perform family to you, thank you. Your service is invaluable to all of us, and we could not be more appreciative.
As everyone is well aware, 2020 has been anything but a normal year. With the outbreak of the coronavirus that has changed everyone's life, the fire service has been no different. Since the beginning of February, we saw how the virus was going to impact public safety. By March 6th, Montgomery County Fire and Rescue began to upstaff the county with 10 additional ambulances called surge units. The volunteers throughout the county were asked to step up and provide coverage. Station 29 was one of the houses that needed to provide that extra coverage. During this time, the procedure on handling COVID-19 patients was changing daily. Our volunteers were told that we were suspending our normal standby duty schedule, which had a requirement of 32 hours per month, because we understood that many of the members had elderly or high-risk family members at home, and their jobs were such that they could not afford to be out sick. During this time, the department had a group of members who met the criteria for the upstaffing. These men went above and beyond the call of duty, wherein their physical safety was perilously exposed to an unknown danger. They performed an extraordinary and heroic public safety duty for their commitment and service. Fire Rescue Lieutenant Nate Hauser, Master Firefighter Brian Jones, EMS Lieutenant Fawad Gould, and EMS Master Provider Matthew Hermanson are awarded the Citation of Bravery.
Good morning. I'm Brock with Paul Davis Restoration. I'm so proud that this is our 13th year as the title sponsor for this event. In these uncertain times, we are comforted that we have dedicated and professional public safety officials in Montgomery County. Firefighters, police officers, EMS, dispatch operators, and sheriffs who stay focused on their commitment to protecting and serving. Thank you to all of our first responders for their continued hard work and dedication, and for making our families and businesses feel safe.
It's now apparent that the COVID-19 is a global pandemic that is affecting the operations of every public safety organization in our country. It is no different for the volunteers of the Germantown Volunteer Fire Department. As EMS and fire training officers scramble to find relevant fact-based training for our personnel, chiefs, and supervisors, they are also trying to manage risk to the personnel without compromising patient care. The volunteers throughout the county were asked to step up and provide extra coverage beginning in March. The team at Germantown, EMS Clinician 2, Gianni Minatoli, EMS Clinician 2, Erica Gray O'Leary, EMS Clinician 2, Rashmin Patel, and Firefighter Rescuer 1, Alexandra Rosenberg, all continue to provide EMS service above the ordinary call of duty. These members continue to participate in their standbys, even with the knowledge of great risk to themselves, to their families and friends. For their commitment, they are awarded the Distinguished Services Citation.
Margaret Latimer, the Vice President and Provost at the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. Personally and on behalf of the college, thank you for all that you do on a normal day, and especially now during the pandemic. We are incredibly grateful for your commitment to our safety. Congratulations to the Public Safety Award winners.
On behalf of the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, I want to congratulate all of the award winners who have gone above and beyond the call of duty and performed these heroic acts. I also want to recognize Montgomery County Sheriff's Office School Resource Officer, Jason Capetta, for his exceptional actions in locating a critically missing student and providing her care that was so desperately needed. In these certainly challenging times for public safety, I want to thank the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber of Commerce for annually honoring the hard work and sacrifice of all of the first responders in Montgomery County. Thank you.
On August 28, 2019, Deputy Sheriff Jason Capetta was contacted by a local middle school principal regarding a student who had been reported missing earlier that morning by her mother. Deputy Capetta began to investigate and was informed by the Montgomery County Police that the 13-year-old girl had been missing for over a week and may be in danger of harming herself. Over the course of the next few days, Deputy Capetta searched to locate her through the use of social media monitoring and by contacting her friends and acquaintances. On September 3rd, 2019, Deputy Capetta met with her after she was located at the school. Deputy Capetta interviewed her, and she said she was a victim of familial abuse and said she wanted to harm herself. Deputy Capetta worked with the Montgomery County Police Detectives to notify Child Protective Services to investigate these allegations further. With concerns that the juvenile may be a danger to herself or others, Deputy Capetta initiated an emergency evaluation petition and transported her to the Shady Grove Adventist Hospital for an evaluation. This incident is only one example of the many positive outcomes and interactions that Deputy Sheriff Jason Capetta has daily while assigned as the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office School Resource Officer. Whether he is conducting student meetings, assisting with school events, or simply a reassuring presence for students and staff, Deputy Capetta embodies a professionalism and competence indicative of the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. We are pleased to recognize his efforts with the Meritorious Unit Citation.
I'm Bruce Canner, owner of Cartridge on Wheels and chairman of the board of the GGCC. Thank you to all of our first responders. Now, we have some of our elected officials with us today to send their thanks.
Hello, I'm Neil Harris from the Gaithersburg City Council, and on behalf of the people of Gaithersburg, thank you for keeping us safe.
I'm Hans Reamer, Montgomery County Council member, and on behalf of the County Council and a grateful community, thank you.
I'm David Fraser Hidalgo, Maryland State Delegate. Thank you for your family and for your sacrifices.
And I'm Lily Chi, Delegate from District 15, Montgomery County. Thank you so much for your service.
Hi, I'm Anita Anderson with Leadership Maryland, and I'm the chair-elect of the Chamber Board. Thank you so much to all of our first responders. We have with us today a few more of our board members and also some individual sponsors to say hello.
Hi, my name is Brian Beamer, owner of iPlan. I just want to say thank you again for all that you do.
Hola, mi nombre es Cindy Verónica, soy parte de Silver Diner Restaurant. Quiero decirles gracias por su servicio.
Hi, my name is Adrian Olaga. I'm a vice president at M&T Bank. Thank you for all your sacrifices.
Hi, I'm Lynn Arndt, CEO of BlackRock Center for the Arts. A heartfelt thanks for all you do to support our community.
Hi, I'm Heather Madison with Peterson at the Rio, Vice Chair of Events for the Chamber. We all want to say a great big thank you for all of our first responders. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We really do.
Thank you.
Thanks for all you do.
In closing, we want to thank our sponsors, Paul Davis Restoration and Remodeling, and our media sponsor, Montgomery Community Media, and all the sponsors for their generosity in making this event a very special one. Thank you to our elected officials for taking the time out of their busy schedule to show their support. I also want to thank Laura Rolls, the Director in Events and Marketing at the Chamber, for her great work in making this happen. And finally, a very special thank you to the commanders, chiefs, our sheriff, and all the public safety officials for their daily dedication and service to our community. On behalf of the Gaithersburg-Germantown Chamber of Commerce, thank you for tuning in today. Thank you.